Psyche Truth. Life, wisdom.
Hi, I'm Catherine Elizabeth. Welcome to day 4 of my 10-day flexibility challenge. Today we're going to go a little bit deeper into your splits and your back bend. But we're also going to be focusing more on your arm and shoulder stability. Now today I'm wearing this really awesome leotard given to me by Cahoots and Movin' Easy Dancewear in Austin, Texas. Got a nice panoramic view of the city. And I just want to say I love New York. I lived there for 2 years. I miss it. What do you guys think? Do you love New York? Do you want to visit? Or do you think maybe, too crowded, too noisy? New York? Yes or no? Let me know. Let's get started. Let's move to the floor. So our warm-up today is going to start on all fours just like we did in video 1. Let's go ahead and position your elbows right under your shoulders, knees hip-width distance apart. Extend that left leg behind you, toes on the ground. We're just going to lift a straight leg until it's parallel to the floor. Now we're just warming up our bodies, so this is your time to check in with yourself and really notice that what your core is doing. You want to make it as solid as possible. So don't forget to draw your belly button in towards your spine. And as you lift your leg, focus on keeping your hips even and not flaring out to the side. So you don't want to twist your hips like this. You want to keep hips level to the floor. And you want to constantly be thinking of pushing away the floor with your right knee as your left leg works. Also check in to make sure you're pulling your shoulders away from your ears, that no tension is creeping up into your upper back and shoulders or neck. Point that toe behind you if you can. And just think of lengthening your legs. You're telling your legs, I want you to get longer. Stretching away from the body. And let that go, and go ahead and raise the right leg. Extend it to the back, toes touching the ground, hips are even, and we lift. Always pushing the floor away with that left knee. Staying parallel, both knees are facing the floor. Don't open up that right hip to the side. And shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Just breathing easily. Now once you've checked in with your core, your abs, and have pulled your belly button in towards your spine, you can focus more on straightening that back leg to its full extent. It can be a little bit difficult to straighten the leg when it's lifting to the back like this. But that's going to give us really toned, lean muscles when we can work and use a muscle while it's being stretched. That's really key to all of the poses that we'll be learning in this series. And just a couple more here. Last one up, and bring it in. Go ahead. Now we'll be turning around onto our seats for a figure 4 stretch. So you're putting your left heel over your right knee. You're grabbing through your legs with your left hand, meeting your right hand behind your right thigh. And you're just going to gently pull on that right thigh and open the left leg out. You're targeting the glute and hip muscles of your left leg. You're just opening that hip. And if you can, try to keep both shoulder blades firmly on the floor. You don't want to be caving in your chest. So chest is open and proud. And we're just opening our hips gently. And just breathe here. Take it a little deeper if you're ready. And let's switch sides. Both shoulders on the ground, chest is open. Okay, and now let's just warm up our abs a little bit more. So extend that left leg up. You're going to grab the left thigh with your left hand. Left leg is perpendicular to the floor. Go ahead and raise up that right foot a couple inches off of your mat. And now with a slight tuck of the chin, reach towards that ankle. So you want to feel the movement originating from around your belly button. Try not to think of your head or your chest leading here. Almost think about your abs as a hinge, and your upper body is relaxed. You inhale down, exhale up, and you can use that left hand to help keep your legs parallel to each other, as opposed if you're rocking to the side or twisting out a little bit, just check back to make sure that you're truly parallel. And reach. Just a couple more on this side. Inhale, last one, exhale up. And go ahead and switch legs. Right leg goes up, right hand behind the right thigh, left foot extends, lift it a few inches off of the ground, and we exhale up. A lot of ab exercises rely on not only your abs, but your upper thighs to complete the exercise, and I find that this one is really good for getting used to using your abs without the aid of your legs. So you're going to need that kind of strength whenever you do any kind of one-footed balances where your legs are busy doing plenty of work on their own. Inhale, exhale, chin is slightly tucked. 2 more here. Last one, reach for the ankle and relax. All right, great job. Now we're going to take a plank, but we're going to do it in reverse this time. So we're going to go back on our elbows, and we're just going to lift our hips and we're going to make sure that our shoulders are positioned right over our elbows. So you're going to push to the floor with your arms, push into the floor with your heels, and push up through your glutes, letting the fronts of your hips stretch. Once you've found your balance, you can just look gently to the ceiling. You don't have to look too far back or tuck in. Just do what comes naturally. You always want to think of the neck as just a continuation of your backbone. So just follow the curve of your spine. And if you notice that you start to sink in your arms, just regroup and push right back up. Just breathe here. And go ahead and rest for a moment. We're going to go up one more time. This time check in to make sure that both hips are raised pretty equally. Sometimes one hip wants to go a little bit higher than the other. Just see what you can do to even it out. Ready? Shoulders over elbows, and we lift. Try to keep the knees together. You might want to scoot your feet a couple inches back to really get the full lift in your pelvis. And we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come down. All right, and now that we've warmed up our midsection, we can take that into a stretch for the lower back. So scoot to the top of your mat, roll back gently, and aim to get the hips about roughly over your shoulders. Meanwhile, you can bring your arms and shoulders in with clasped hands right behind your back. This just helps stabilize your shoulder blades a little bit. Give you a nice stretch in the front of your shoulders and chest. Now it's very easy to just sort of relax here, but even though this is a stretch, we do want to engage our abdomens, still focusing on pulling the belly button in towards the spine. This should be a nice stretch for your lower back and your hamstrings and glutes. Good, and just slowly, we're bringing our seats back to the mat. Slowly roll through the spine if you can, with control. And bring it back. And we're going to take that idea of the forward fold back to a hamstring stretch. So now we're just seated here with our legs extended, leading with the chest. Chest is open. Try to get your chest to your shins. And like I've said in previous videos, sometimes if this is really difficult on the first try, I just sort of do it in a flow. So I exhale down, inhale up, not spending too much time in any one position. Until I can comfortably hold my forehead to my shins. And now, something you might not be able to see necessarily is that I'm actively pulling my legs with my arms. My arms are just as engaged as any part of my legs. So I'm pulling myself to my legs. And that helps release my back, which helps me get a fuller, deeper stretch. Now, don't get discouraged if your head isn't all the way to your legs yet. Most importantly, like I said, lead with the chest and try not to curl in the upper back. This is really about elongating your spine and getting full mobility in your back, as well as your hamstrings. And go ahead and roll up. And now we're going to be working our arms a little bit. Last time we attempted our back bend, but if you found that it was a little bit difficult to push up from that position, this next exercise will help strengthen your arms to make it a little bit easier. So we're going to do some tricep dips to start. So you want to position your hands, fingertips forward, a few inches behind you, right under your shoulders. Now you want to dig your heels, hip width distance apart, into your mat. You're going to put all of your weight into your hands as you bend your elbows. Now you might want to walk your feet a little bit forward so that you don't feel any pinching in your joints. You should be able to feel the back muscle here, your tricep engage, without feeling the joint itself being in pain. So just find what works naturally for your body and try to really dip and lift through the arms as opposed to lifting your hips with it. So our hips are still. We're just focusing on our arms and keeping our elbows in and parallel. There is a tendency to want to flare out a little bit, but we want to think of them bending directly behind us. And try if you can to put your full palm of your hand on the floor, not lifting up through the thumb and the index finger. For 3, 2, 1. Lift all the way up and sit down. All right, good job. Now we're going to take those same muscles and incorporate them into a sort of a balance. This is going to prepare you for your handstand, and it's going to give you the strength needed to support yourself in your back bend. So we're really just lifting our seats off of the mat, using our arms and our shoulder stability. So put your feet just, comfortably in front of you, bent on the floor. We're going to sort of lean our chest forward, and we're just going to push up and push ourselves back down. So this is just getting you used to supporting your body weight with your arms and your shoulders. Now again, we don't want to lock out our elbows, no flamingo elbows here. Keep them a little bit soft. And challenge yourself to see how long you can hold yourself a few inches above the ground. Might just be half a second, but it's helping to train your muscle memory in this new movement. Now, if you're feeling really adventurous, you can take this move and move it around the room in sort of a forward and back motion. Let's just do it a few more times in the center. Last time. And release. So far we've warmed up our arms and our back. Now let's put them together. Come to a kneeling position on your knees with legs hip-width distance apart. Stand up nice and tall. Pull your pelvis under so you're in a nice straight line from your knee to your shoulders. And we're going to grab our heels with our thumbs facing out on both sides. We're going to look to the back wall and drive our hips forward. Now your gaze should constantly be seeking the floor. This is how you're going to gain flexibility in this position. Keep your back safe by driving your hips forward and just look to that back wall and eventually the floor. Now, this pose can be a little overwhelming when you first start it. So you don't have to hold it this long, but challenge yourself to see how long you can stay in this position. When you're ready to come up, put one hand in the small of your back and let the other hand join you. Join your back so that you can be assisted in pulling up safely. From here, we're going to go back down to the floor, work our shoulders just a little bit more. Coming to a plank position on our elbows. We're going to do basically a one-arm push-up. So we're going to go from our left side, up, go down the way you came. So left arm down first, right arm down. Left, up, left, down, right, down. Left, right, right. This is just an extension of our center plank that we've been doing. This time challenging yourself to be stable on one arm as your body weight shifts. You can rest here. We're going to go to the other side, starting with the right hand. So the right hand's going to lift up first. It's going to come down first. Just take a few deep breaths. And get ready for the other side. So we start center, right hand up, left hand, right down, left down. Again, you want to keep your hips as close to the floor as possible. It's a little more challenging this time. But see what you can do to control the sway in your hips, the rocking. One more. Right down, left down, relax. And bring it up one more time to your cobra pose. Tall over your knees, hip width distance apart. Grab that right heel, left heel, look back, hips forward. Now you actually want to pull on your heels to counter the force going forward in your hips. We'll stretch out the front of your shoulders and your chest and your neck around your collarbone. Always seek to look further back. And when you're ready, one hand goes to the small of the back, other hand comes to meet it, and we come up slowly. Now, final challenge, going into our splits. So stick the right leg out, hips are even, foot is flexed, chest is open, chest to the knee, pulling the right hip back as you do so. Just breathe here. We've gotten a little warmed up, that's great. The warmer our bodies are, the easier these advanced stretches are going to be. And go ahead and pull that in, left leg out. Left foot is flexed, left hip even with the right, pulling it back as you lead your chest to your knee. And we're going to go, starting with our right foot front, into our splits. So you can try a more slippery surface if you like. But again, the focus here is to try to put weight evenly on both legs, as opposed to just the front or just the back. As well as keeping the upper body center, facing forward over your front leg, not twisting out to the center. But as we did last time, I'm going to loosen up my back hip a little bit, walking over, stretching the inner thigh of the front leg as well. And bringing it back to center. And go ahead and relax. I relax by curling towards my front foot and bringing the feet in. Going to the other side. Slide down with equal weight. Body is positioned forward. Legs pulling in opposite directions. They're trying to get away from each other. And walk in. Stretch the inner thigh of the left leg. And the back hip of the right. Front hip of the right. And bring it back over the center. Just remember to breathe. Imagine all the oxygen going to the parts of your muscles that are aching the most. And just let that tension go. Now this is the end of the video, so I challenge you to do the splits a few more times per side, see how long you can hold them with good form. Also notice if you have any particular challenges in your own body. Is the front leg easier to straighten? Is the back leg easier to straighten? Whichever one is harder to straighten, you probably want to put a little bit more weight on that leg. For me today, it's my back. The right leg is a little bit more bent, so I'm going to shift my weight a little far back. Extend that leg a little bit further. And that's enough for today. So thank you for watching. This has been day 4 of my 10-day flexibility challenge. Hopefully these movements are getting a little bit more easy, a little bit more natural, but we're just going to take it farther every time, and I promise you're going to see great results. So I will see you on day 5. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe so you can follow me for day 5, and come back to this video anytime that you need a refresher. Have a great day!